The definition of production diplomacy in the National Defense and Industrial Strategy is a production strategy that emphasizes friendshoring, onshoring, and working with allies and partners to minimize reliance on products from adversaries. But the strategy also discusses production diplomacy within the context of lessons learned in the multilateral response to the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and it touches on other potential benefits of production diplomacy, including specifically in the Indo-Pacific.
Production diplomacy supplements our investments to build upon our industrial base here and at home as well as abroad. Closer collaboration with allies and partners on defense industrial challenges is a top priority for our leadership.
For Australia, concepts such as production diplomacy are essential. Our defence industrial base is modest and our population small. Close industrial collaboration with trusted international partners helps build the strategic weight Australia needs to shape the future, makes our nation less vulnerable to coercion, and helps deter conflict by increasing the cost of aggression against Australia and its interests.
Where's the opportunities? And I think that's where we need to look. Is the opportunity to promote innovation. Is the opportunity to identify barriers to the trust and to the collaboration and the relationships that we have. It's the opportunity to share more information. If you look at AUKUS, for example, and you look at just technologies and the ability to share some of those technologies and the challenges that it presents. So if you look at it from that framework, you could see there are a lot of opportunities that really starts to present itself that we can start to really look at during any interwar, peacetime kind of setting before it gets to the complex, right? So you can start to prove these out, ensure you have good illumination and understanding, and then you can start to address and mitigate some of those challenges that you have.
Getting systems to work together when there are, very well-worn tracks of the way bureaucratic systems work and legal constraints, legal obligations of these governments to do things in particular ways and budgetary timing cycles, and all of it makes working together very difficult. And then you add on the sensitive technologies that are involved not only in defense generally, but then AUKUS Pillar 2, which is looking at some of the highest technologies that are being developed in quantum computing and AI and hypersonic missiles. The foundational requirements are really tough to get right, which is why, as Paul was saying, the focus now is on getting some, if not harmonization, some standardization of things like information security and technology transfer understandings and export controls and everything. Getting those systems aligned between the three AUKUS members and adding on other countries like Japan, adds another layer of complexity.
Very different situation from AUKUS to India, kind of almost on opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of, as John was saying, with AUKUS, it's not easy, but there's a lot of opportunity there to be the groundbreaker for the momentum for others. But then India not being an ally, just such a different set of challenges.
It has become a habit to use Indo-Pacific just to refer to Asia plus India. And I think that undersells the concept a little bit. And one of the areas that we don't often think about is the further out Indo-Pacific. And there are, nations such as like Chile, who are close partners with the US, see themselves as Pacific nations. And that's not to say we're going to be building hypersonic weapons with them, but there are opportunities, I think, for us to think a little bit more broadly about partnerships and where there are opportunities across the Indo-Pacific. And of course, the Pacific Islands themselves, there's not a heavy industrial base in terms of co-production and such, but important trade routes, important mineral access. There's a number of other areas. We could do a whole separate panel, I think, on widening the aperture on alliance partnerships and security cooperation.
This is the reality of what we're talking about now. We're not in a sort of relaxed post-Cold War or late Cold War, let's sort of do nice things with people. We need to be able to deliver capability. And I think Europeans are very focused on that, and to the extent that the Indo-Pacific partners at this stage can support that, we should be encouraging it, and obviously that resilience that we build through the European industrial base will pay dividends in any future Indo-Pacific scenarios.